And then there was obviously the Tenet reissue that they were doing, which I was very excited for because I never got to see Tenet. Here is Dune Part 2. And then I never got to see Tenet when it came out in theaters.
Yeah, on the big screen.
On the big screen. And honestly, I think that's when my life paused, bro. I think it was not being able to go see Tenet at IMAX. And they took the IMAX away from me here. And it just felt like 4 years of my life have been paused since the pandemic has started. And I feel like the pandemic is now over, Zach. I can officially, on this podcast, say that now that Tenet has been reissued in IMAX, we have been fixed as a world.
Maybe we can move backwards through time to make up for that time lost, too.
You were right. The chicken line is great.
It's amazing. Thank you. The
This man was spitting, bro. Everything works in this movie.
I ordered my hot sauce an hour ago. The thing that's been giving me life over the weekend is just seeing all the people reevaluating their Tenet takes from 2020 and just being like, I don't know what I was feeling back then. I'm like, I get it. We were all going through a lot in 2020.
For sure. But if you had the chance to see it in IMAX and you came out with, I don't understand the dialogue, how'd the dialogue get better? Your ears get better since then? What happened? Now, don't get it twisted. I have my 4K. I prepped, bro, like homework.
Yeah.
We watched it with subtitles on, so we knew what the heck, just in case. I don't think it's that bad. I think it adds a lot. Zach, you have your tickets?
I got my tickets tomorrow night.
Bro. AMC Lincoln Square?
You know it, of course.
70mm IMAX, right? 143. It is everything I wanted it to be. Ladies and gentlemen, and moviegoers all out there, if you can see Tenet in 70mm IMAX, just like we've been talking about since Oppenheimer in those specific theaters, it is worth it, man. I have that 4K at home and it's beautiful. But that 70mm grain was fantastic, dude. The colors just pop differently. And the size, I mean, that's where he walks into that kitchen, bro. Why does it feel different? There's an extra echo to the dialogue mix and the length of him, bro. 143 DeBecky. She's so tall. She's
the only one who's tall enough for that ratio.
Dude, it is some sweeping shots. You are going to love it. You know that meme they've been spreading of like the gamer who goes like this?
Oh, leans forward in his chair?
Yeah, he like leans forward. That's me the whole movie.
Yeah,
every time it cuts forward, I had to.
Whenever the part of the score, like Reigns of Talon or whatever it is, comes on, that's me. I'm leaning forward all the way. I mean, look, Tenet, I think, didn't get its fair shake because, you know, it's a movie that's really designed for that movie theater experience. And people talk about how it's hard to hear the dialogue. I know you said it's not as bad as people make it out to be.
But I also saw it, so I'll give them that.
Yeah. I find it interesting that we are now getting this press cycle from Denis Villeneuve, who is talking about how he hates dialogue. It's not as important to him as the image in the movie. Okay. And I think that, I think he's kind of working in the Christopher Nolan mold in that, like, ultimately the things that matter in these types of movies are what you're seeing, what you're hearing. There's a reason why when Soderbergh did that recut of Temple of Doom, where he turned it into black and white and just used the Social Network score and none of the dialogue, that it still works because, like,
I gotta watch it.
If a movie is like perfectly constructed on a visual level, that's all you need as an audience. Like, I've always felt that the elements of the Christopher Nolan movies that I can't hear, they don't matter to me because I get sort of the mood of what's happening, right? Like, if I don't understand what Bane is saying under that mask, I know he's still threatening people.
Yeah.
If I don't hear Tom Hardy in Dunkirk, I know he's just giving orders or whatever. But it's like you're so immersed in the greater picture of it all that, like, it ultimately doesn't matter if you know every single word spoken in the movie. And I think Tenet is the perfect example of that. Like, you do not need to know everything that they say. You don't need to understand every plot mechanism or maneuver or scheme that they get into. You just kind of got to sit back and feel the movie or lean 100%. Forward.
Exactly. It's just a beautiful ride to go on. And I think it's definitely worth experiencing it in IMAX. It was definitely top tier. I think I get it. Kinda.
Yeah.
And it's clean too. You're right. Turn off your brain, enjoy it. But the fact that there's something there. In the special features, he says, you get to sit back because we did all the work for you. Bro, like, you start piecing at it. It's so much fun to be a detective with the movie too.
Yeah.
damn, is it so much fun. I love Robert Pattinson's character. I love what they're doing with the bad guy in this movie. This idea of the cause and effect, and the cause has already happened, so, or the effect has already happened, so you have to create the cause. It's some weird stuff that he's talking about. And then I remember when we were covering Oppenheimer, we had brought up how Oppenheimer was mentioned.
Yeah.
In this movie, which, by the way, she says Oppenheimer. So when I messed it up in my video, just so y'all know, he did too in that one. Okay, so there you go. But just the fact that it's this inverse of Oppenheimer, this idea of them being scared with what's going to happen to the bomb, and then here he's like fixing that future that Oppenheimer ends on. It's genius, dude. Like he made the prequel before the other movie there. So
It's awesome.
I'm excited to rewatch it again if I could. I am so jealous that you get to see it again tomorrow. Hopefully you get a poster. They were giving out film reels on the first day. Sneak into the back, see if they got an extra one. Take it from the 70 millimeter if you can. It looked really nice. Big thumbs up. I am so happy I finally got to see it. It's 4 years in the making, and it was everything I wanted and more. And I love the movie even more because of it. We're going to talk about it again next week because you're going to have a bunch of other things to say. I'll remember everything from the experience as well. But if you get the chance, go see it in 70 millimeter IMAX. I think not only does it make a difference, but it proves exactly what Nolan was going for and why he did it. Dude, it's Interstellar. It's Inception, and the man remade Memento, man. Like he was just firing on all cylinders here.
It's his greatest hits.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. Big thumbs up. Must watch for me. But without really getting into the review for Dune, because we know Dune's good, right?
Yeah, Dune's really good.
Dune, it's good. So y'all know that already.
Yeah.
How was your experience?
I mean, you know, it's cool to be in a packed movie theater full of people that are really excited for a thing. So there's that, and there's nothing quite like the gigantic IMAX screen to sort of like awe you when, you know, Denis designs these images to be experienced that way. I mean, it's a powerful movie, and it's overpowering even if presented in the right way. So I'm glad I saw it in the right way.
Where'd you see it?
Not,
you guys see it?
No, so it was actually, speaking of the Lincoln Square IMAX, that one was sold out. So I saw it in another theater around here, but it was still presented well.
So I guess they were doing it on digital, so I may have seen the same version as you, so you saw 1.9.
No, I think
Only 12 theaters doing 1.43.
Oh, so maybe I saw 1.9 then.
I traveled for 1.43 and saw 1.9. So I am still awaiting our Austin trip at the Austin IMAX Theater to go see it in that 1.43, because I guess yesterday was all digital. So because of it being digital, only certain theaters had it in that ratio. So I've yet to see it in that full thing. But even with that, just your first thoughts. Because off that IMAX score, I still had the IMAX sound.
Right.
There is this bagpipe score that Hans Zimmer cooked for a middle section of the movie.
I mean, it's just so like, it's so like overstimulating even. Like there's certain moments, particularly when you get to like the sandworm moments where the score is just rumbling and the visuals are just like queuing you up and building in anticipation. And I don't know, I found it to be a really, really powerful experience.
I'm excited to talk about more of the story, more of everything else. But this is, again, just like we told you about this fan screening, starting Friday, most theaters are going to be playing this in your Dolby, in all of your different formats. Just like I made a video with Oppenheimer, I'm going to try to make something for Dune and all of its different breakdowns, because it was interesting. I've been like reading threads and stuff, and it turns out a lot of people saw my Oppenheimer video and we're going to the museum that I had recommended, and I found that like fascinating. And then I was over there, and some people were talking about it in line. We were waiting for concessions. Bro, they don't know me because it's just my voice. So it's just fascinating to be like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, I heard about this from a video and I heard it's really good. I was like, that's dope, bro. That's really awesome. So I love just being the ghost and just having
you gotta like change your voice a little bit so that people don't recognize it.
Bro, I was like, what's his name, Paul? When he gives that speech, I did not know Timmy had it in him, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He gets really deep when he delivers that speech. And in those IMAX sounds, it is fantastic. So we're gonna save all that for the review, but I highly recommend checking out the IMAX website. I'm gonna be posting some other stuff in terms of where you can see it properly, because as I told you, the screening that I saw, a lot of people thought they saw it in 1.43. They did not. It was crap for them, and it's this idea like maybe you don't know the ins and outs of what you're getting, but I hope that people, if they're making the trip or getting a ticket, are seeing it in the format that they should be. Because that's like ordering a a burger and then only getting a single. They're
Right.
jipping you out. It's the same thing. It's still the product, but you paid for something.
Right.
And it was interesting to see that. Not a lot of people knew the difference in it, but there's a difference between 2K and 4K. And I'm excited to watch it with you when we get to Austin. And
Yeah.
just make sure that
Can't
you call
wait.
out to the theater so that you get it in that full aspect ratio. It's a difference. Same thing with Tenet. What a week, dude. Back-to-back movies when it comes to IMAX to wrap up